Joining us now, we're pleased to be joined by Sherrie James, the career counselor at JVS Human Services, as older Michigan workers have been heavily impacted by the pitfalls of the job market here during the COVID-19 pandemic. And JVS Human Services and Sherrie and her team are working to help them reacclimate themselves to the workforce and find their next great opportunity that will not only be a good career move for them, but will be a comfortable career move for them as well. Sherrie, thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you for having me on.
Pleased to be with you. So this program is a virtual career development program. It's called Recharge. It's going to start on October 26th. What can our older or more mature workers be expecting to experience during this virtual career development program, and what skills may they develop along the way?
So Recharge is a program for people 45 and over that are really just trying to figure out what they want to do in the next stage of their life. It doesn't even have to be looking for a job. It could be doing soul searching, trying to figure out what their next move is. Do they want to do volunteer work? Do they want to re-career? And some of the things that they learn in Recharge are, we look at interests, values, in order to really do some soul searching to make an assessment of, next stages of life.
And for many people, this is, like you said, it's not about necessarily getting that next job or making that making that next career move or recovering from the pandemic. For some, it's about changing direction and finding a different path forward for yourself and for your career, and maybe doing something that's more satisfying to you or more along your areas of interest as you're getting into the later parts, hopefully, of your career, or you just need a change of scenery. So for people that are going into this with different perspectives and with different goals, how can they best come into this program and get what they need out of it?
That's a great question. I think that you come in with an open mind and trying to really learn about yourself. I think one of the things that COVID did for many people is they've reevaluated who they are and what they want to do in their lives. So, it really has been a time for people to slow down. And Recharge really makes people really think about who they are as a person and what they're interested in doing, not what do they have to do, really what their interests are.
We're joined by Sherrie James, a career counselor at JVS Human Services, joining us to talk about Recharge, a virtual career development program for mature workers, which starts on October 26th. Now, Recharge launched in 2012, and since then, according to my notes, 275 individuals have gone through the program. And what are typically the results that people can expect from having gone through a program like Recharge? Obviously it's going to be in some ways you make of it you get from it what you make of it, but in other ways it's just about learning some of those skills and to be able to put your best foot forward to change your career, to change your direction.
You said about put your best foot forward. And typical. So there are really no typical outcomes for Recharge because every person's situation is different. But really what the program does is it builds hope, builds self-confidence in order for people to explore and figure out what they'd like to do. For instance, some people come to Recharge and they're retired already and they decide, do I want to go back to work or don't I want to go back to work? Some people are currently in an active job search and are re-careering. I once had a woman who worked in corporate America, and she decided that she'd like to work for nonprofits, and she went into fundraising. So it took her some time, and she did a lot of informational interviews until she really figured out what she wanted to do. But really, the one thing that Recharge does, especially now, is helps people connect with other people, meet other people that are going through similar situations for support.
We're joined by Sherrie James. She is a career counselor at JVS Human Services, talking about Recharge, a virtual career development program for mature workers, which begins on October 26th. It's for workers. It's aimed at workers 45 years of age and above. And so, Sherrie, what are some of the individual programs or different lessons that some of these workers that may participate in Recharge will experience or will learn along the way as they go through this program?
One of lessons I think that people learn is we take a lot of assessments, and one of the assessments they take is the strong interest inventory, and it matches their assessments to 10 different occupations. So it really helps people really think outside of the box sometimes. Occupations are recommended for them, and they really are, some occupations are recommended that they never really thought of. And a lot of times people in the group will recommend occupations to other people. I once had a gentleman who had a great voice in Recharge, and people were telling him he should do radio or do something on TV. So a lot of ideas come through the brainstorming, through the group, through me, and through the support of JVS.
We're joined by Sherrie James, career counselor at JVS Human Services, with us today on the MegaCast, talking about the Recharge program. This is a virtual career development program for workers 45 years of age and older that will begin on October 26th. And a little bit about what will go into this program. It will provide tools for participants to reconnect with their skills and interests, refresh their professional image and personal brand, restore belief in themselves during life transition, and review the local job market. So it's got a little bit of something for everybody. And what's exciting about this is that no matter what your goals are going forward at that point in your career, at that point in your life when you're trying to make this sort of a change or re-enter the workforce after being out of it for a while, either because of the pandemic or for other circumstances, whatever your case may be, that a lot of these lessons translate to various situations, and these skills can be utilized in so many different ways, no matter what your ultimate goal is coming out of the Recharge program.
Absolutely. And the skills is really a nice place where we actually start with Recharge. Instead of asking people, hey, what are your top 10 skills? We have an assessment that we use that gives people actually their skills. And from there, we kind of take apart their top 10 skills and really have them write accomplishment exercises to really think about, hey, how did I use this skill in the past? And, what really were my accomplishments with this? Because it's hard to really get in touch with, really what your skills are unless you've had some expertise at it or really spent some time thinking about it. And also for the marketing purposes, when you go to find a job, you have to use those skills and be able to say how you used them and why.
We're joined by Sherrie James. She's a career counselor at JVS Human Services, with us today on the MegaCast. And Sherrie, for those that may be interested in participating in the program, or those that may not be interested in participating in the program, but are interested in the subject matter that we're discussing today about the Recharge program, at this moment in time, for those workers 45 years of age and older who this program is aimed at, depending on their goals, of course, it's going to be different. But what are one or two things that they should really be focused on right now as they're looking to change their career path or are looking to re-enter the workforce in one capacity or another?
I think one of the things, though, is to really update your computer skills. Recharge is currently going to be on Zoom, so that's really an important piece to finding a job in today's society too. And I think using LinkedIn is really an important piece. That's something that everyone can use. It helps for networking. And also I think building self-esteem, feeling good about yourself. I'm all about, since I'm a counselor, what can I do to restore hope in people? What can I do to make people feel good about themselves, so they themselves can take the action that it takes in order to move through the process, whether it be volunteer work, getting a job, or just deciding, hey, I'm just going to stay home and be happy with what I'm doing.
We're joined by Sherrie James from JVS Human Services. She's a career counselor with JVS and is here to promote Recharge, a virtual career development program for workers 45 years of age and older. That begins on October 26th. So it's coming up soon. If you're interested, keep this in mind. And Sherrie, for those that are interested, how can they participate? How can they sign up for this virtual program?
They can give me a call or they can email me. Is the best way. Do you want me to give the information?
Sure. Yes, please.
Sure. My phone number is 248-233-4472, and my email is sjames, it's JAMES, at jvshumanservices.org. Or call the JVS. You can call, if you don't remember any of that, you Google JVS and then call the front desk and they'll reroute you to me.
We're joined by Sherrie James. She's the career counselor at JVS Human Services, joining us today to talk about Recharge, a virtual career development program for mature workers looking to either change the path of their career, refocus their career, and shift into something more along their areas of interest, or even re-enter the workforce following the bulk of a pandemic that has been very tough on older workers, as it has been on women and a number of other populations as well, who are now working to re-enter the workforce. And it can be different for older adults who have been in the workforce for a while, who have been in their careers for a while, but have now been out for a little bit, to get back in. And in some cases, some businesses maybe in the past may have been more apprehensive to welcome more mature workers back into their team because they figure they're not going to be there for very long. In some cases, they're closer to retirement. They may be too skilled for certain positions, and these businesses may worry that they're not going to be able to afford them because of their skill set and because of their experience. At this point where we're at right now, with the quote-unquote worker shortage that's being experienced in so many different industries here in Michigan and across the U.S., has that mindset with employers changed as they look at more mature workers looking to get back into the workforce, or to shift into their area of interest?
I think the employers are really kind of more open now to hiring people of all ages, and I think it's easier now to move out of one occupation to another occupation. But the bottom line is people are really looking for a good fit for themselves. A lot of people that come to Recharge would like a job that they have passion for, that they're interested in. So it's really, it has a lot to do really with the fit and, feeling good about what they're doing.
And Sherrie, anything else that would be important for our audience to know, particularly those who would be in the age group and that would be best benefited by Recharge as we approach October 26th when this program begins?
I think the best thing to know about Recharge is that it's a great place to come connect with other people. We have fun. We have a lot of laughs in order to kind of reach a goal of trying to figure out what you'd like to do in the next stage of your life. Sometimes people are really lost. They're not really sure where to go, what to do. Recharge has a little bit of everything, a little bit of a lot of things, and people find benefit in, most of the things that we are doing.
Well, Sherrie, we appreciate your time, and thank you for giving us this preview of this program that will be a big benefit to a lot of people in our local area and across southeastern Michigan who are looking to change their career path, get back into the workforce, or shift into something that's more along their interest level as they reacclimate their career following the bulk of this pandemic that we're still very much in.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me on.